It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. It's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias Podcast with Lydell Dinero and Hugo Twilight.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lydell Dinero. Of course it is, because you see this hat right here? That means the best of bias is in your well, if you're in the audio, you can't really see anything, but to the viewers on the YouTube, you can see it. It's the Best of Bias Podcast, Lydell Dinero in the building with AKA.
What's cracking?
What's going on? I know. I was like, what? You gonna be? The people in the audio world can't hear you. Just putting up a peace sign. That's silent. But yeah, we in the building today. We got a double episode. We got pop culture and the Book of Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. I've been calling it the Book of Fett this whole time we've been reviewing all these episodes. Let me get it right. It's the Book of Boba Fett, episodes 6 and 7 review. Yeah, we're giving you the finale today too.
I think anybody would take that. I think they'd take the Book of Fett or the Book of Boba. It'll work right.
You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to give it its just due because we are going to talk about the finale today. It did wrap up this past Wednesday. So we're going to talk about that and get our reflections on about how that was. But first, we're going to start with the pop culture like we usually do. We haven't talked about some of the pop cultures I have on this list in a while. And it's been, a couple of weeks since some of these topics came out. So I just want to bring that to these Best of Bias listeners. You guys are family out here and see what y'all thought about it. So let's start with Tom Brady retiring for real this time. It's going to be my little moment right here. Hey, Curry, bruh. All right. We're gonna turn
Curry is chilling.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna turn that a little bit. But yeah, we'll start with Tom Brady retiring. Man, I am disappointed. I thought he was gonna hit us with the fakeroo. When he had John on here, we were talking about how he retired, but we didn't think he was really gonna retire. How he was gonna come back after they said that. I didn't really say I was gonna retire. We thought he was gonna come back, but he actually did retire this time. I'm saddened because the Buccaneers we ain't got a quarterback now. And the only reason we was, making some noise, we won a Super Bowl, is not only because of Tom Brady, but it was mostly because of Tom Brady. When we had Jameis Winston, you already know what it was. So I'm not even going to go there with that. But this is about Tom Brady, not the Buccaneers right now. But I want to say thank you, Tom Brady, for the 2 seasons you spent in Tampa. You turned us around. People was talking so much shit, calling us the so-called Succaneers. I ain't never heard that shit. But that's what Skip Bayless probably made up just to hate. And put, Tom Brady up here on a more so of a pedestal. But anyways, thank you, sir, for doing what you did, bringing the Super Bowl the first year and taking us to the divisional round the second year. I appreciate all that. And, to whatever future endeavors you do have, you got hella businesses out there. I'm sure you're going to have to run a lot of ventures. You want to, a lot of years of football, 22 seasons. You know what I mean? I think it's time to go, see what your kids are talking about, see what your family talking about, because shoot, 7 months out of the year, he's probably like super focused on football all the time and not really giving his family the attention it needs. What do you think? You think it's time? You think it was time?
Yeah, definitely. Like, he's been out there for a minute and he ain't got shit to prove. I mean, yeah, really, what does he? Like, I mean, he could try and stay out there just to make it harder for somebody in the future to come and try and match what he's done. Mm-hmm. Right now he is to football what Michael Jordan was to basketball, and he just really setting that bar high for his LeBron to come.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be one of those 7 Super Bowls. I don't think there's somebody that can reach that plateau. I think that's gonna be a record that stands forever. I think he's gonna be the GOAT. I mean, hey, never say never. Yeah, never say never. But I don't see it happening in my lifetime. Maybe somebody, when they change some more rules or some shit, and maybe something happens in the future to make it easier for quarterbacks to win Super Bowls or whatnot and stay healthy for longer, and somebody can win some more. But in this modern age that I'm living in, I don't think anybody's gonna reach that accomplishment unless somebody goes to like 5 Super Bowls and is undefeated or some shit, wins like 5 in a row. I guess that could be like somewhat, I don't know.
Something, yeah.
But yeah, shouts out to him. He ended the season like first in all the like quarterback categories, passing yards, passing touchdowns, yards per play and stuff like that. Aaron Rodgers did end up winning MVP though, just because I think because of his interception ratio. He threw way less interceptions than Tom Brady did. A lot of his interceptions weren't really necessarily his fault. Tip balls or Hail Mary attempts, which aren't really his fault necessarily, but they do count towards your interception. So, Aaron Rodgers did win, but he's in a whole bunch of drama on that side. So who knows how that's going to go. But 22 seasons, 7 Super Bowls, 2 teams. We're forever grateful. Tom Brady, enjoy your retirement unless you want to come out of retirement for 1 year because you were on top going out. And everybody's talking about how Matthew Stafford retired you and LA retired you. And we'll play them next year in Tampa. So if you want to come back and bless us for 1 more season, you can. So, but for now, happy retirement, sir. Thank you, sir. But staying on the NFL, we got to touch on this because it is Black History Month. Brian Flores, former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, he got fired this year after, he shouldn't have been fired, really. He had 2 really good seasons with the Dolphins, in which, I don't know the record exactly, but he did have some good seasons. Usually, white coaches get either 3 or 4 seasons to prove themselves, especially if they have 2 good seasons. Not necessarily good, but I would say on the up and up. Miami was a pretty bad team when he actually got there. So I think he was sending the team in the right direction, but he did get fired. And amongst getting fired, he was one of the hottest candidates in the coaching search. People thought he would be, the hot hire, first one to get hired by every team because, he is Brian Flores. He did what he did. But he's claiming that there's a lot of racism. He's actually suing the NFL for racism in their hiring practices, which is a tough suit to have because these owners got a bunch of money. And I don't think he's going to have enough money to try to fight this case. But I think it's more so bringing awareness to what's going on under the, behind the scenes. I don't know if you're aware of what's called the Rooney Rule they implemented. I'm not sure what year they did, but it's like you have to, each team has to interview a minority head coach or minority coach for the candidacy of the head coach job, just to make it fair and try to kind of like, encourage these owners to hire minorities as head coaches. But over the years, it's been used as nothing but just a technicality, something you have to do before you hire your coach. You know what I mean? And Brian Flores is actually kind of bringing the light to that. We actually already knew that. We kind of figured that after all these, candidates that are qualified to be head coaches that are in the NFL. The league is like 71% Black. And a lot of the coordinators, of all the positions are Black. It's just the head coaches are usually white. You know what I mean? 32 head coaches right now, and there's 2 that are Black, and 1 is Black barely, I guess they call him. He said he
barely. What the fuck?
He designates himself as multiracial, so he's not. He doesn't even say he's Black. But I think, I don't know. But it's the offensive.
You mean like Vin Diesel?
I don't know. I don't know, but there's only 2 head coaches that are minorities in the 3 with Ron Rivera is a minority, but 2 Black head coaches out of 32 coaches. So yeah, behind the scenes, he says there's a lot of racism going on. He even says that the owner of the Dolphins offered him, was telling him he'll pay him $100,000 if he tanks the season to try to get a better quarterback, $100,000 per loss. And, he was like, nah, I can't do that. He's too, his integrity as a coach is too big. He doesn't want to do that. And I think he said he got fired for that. That's why they let him go. He didn't tank enough. The team was losing at the beginning of the season. And they went on like an 8-game winning streak. And the owner didn't like that. So they let him go. You know what I mean? And what else did he say? He said that, what else? He said he was going to interview for the Giants job. And he's really good friends with Bill Belichick. He came from the Bill Belichick tree. Where he was a coordinator at the Patriots before he got hired at the Dolphins job. Bill Belichick was texting him. He was like, congratulations, Brian, on getting the New York job. They really like you, and I think you're the man for the job. And then Brian Flores texts him back like, hey, thanks, coach. But I think you got the wrong Brian because my interview is not till like, say Monday. I don't know exactly what day it was, but he said like Monday. And he was like, dang, oh, shoot. Sorry, Brian. I meant to text this to Brian. I think his last name is Venables or some shit like that. And just showing you that they already had their man hired before he even went out to go fly to New York from wherever he was, fly all the way across the country for this interview that he wasn't going to get anyways. It's just wild. There's all these eligible head coaches or coordinators. Eric Bieniemy, he had an interview at the Saints. It was an 8-hour interview, and they just ended up promoting their defensive coordinator. Didn't even hire him. It's just shit.
Him and Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
That's fucking shady.
And he posted the text message thread too to kind of prove that there's racism going on. But it's like you can't really prove you know this can happen, but it's like the owners, they're gonna be like, oh no, we interviewed you because we really wanted to give you the job. How can you prove that he's just, interviewing somebody to satisfy the Rooney Rule? It's just a kind of crazy concept, and I feel like people are in the NFL that are around it, like work closely with them, or like teams should get like draft picks taken away if they don't legitimately hire or have like certain amount of African Americans, hired to staff positions, especially if the league is 71% Black. It's just interesting to me how they feel like they don't need Black employees that can kind of relate with the players a little bit more than these white coaches that kind of like, I don't know, sometimes maybe not get the most out of the players because of how they feel like the coach is kind of talking to them, or if they still kind of have that old school mentality of how to coach a football player, yelling and screaming, putting their hands on people, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of benefit that can come from having, some African Americans or people, just minorities in general, involved in the organizations. And it's kind of crazy. But that does bring me to one more thing. The Denver Broncos are for sale. The team is up for sale. And one of the people that want to buy it is Robert Smith, which is a Black man. He's like a billionaire worth $6.7 billion. And he's trying to buy the Broncos, but I think he's going to go in with somebody. I think Peyton Manning is trying to buy him as well. But I think he's going to try to go in with another kind of minority ownership group to try to get, the team so they can force a way to try to get minority and Black coaches and owners and GMs into the league, and maybe that can bring awareness and, spread and kind of bring awareness to the league in a different way than just hiring Jay-Z to kind of like consult with. But, give somebody a team and see what we do with it, see how let us see what we can work with. We can relate to the players, maybe the wages go up, and get paid a little bit more. You never know what could happen. Just, but at least you got to take a step, because this is backwards. It's been years and years and years. And it's like Black coaches are not getting hired. And I think another Black coach got hired with the Texans, but he replaced the Black coach. So it's not really progress. You're just replacing a Black coach with another Black coach. But yeah, anyways, I'm good off that. But I don't know. Prayers out to Brian Flores. Hopefully he can get some money off that case, because I don't think he's getting another job. I think it might be over for that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But then he can try and like file discrimination too.
Then. Yeah, just keep it going. You got get something out of it, man. Maybe they'll give you some hush money. I don't know. Super Bowl is this weekend. I'll be remiss if I didn't mention that. You guys, hope everybody's out there being safe. Enjoy the food, enjoy the family, enjoy the company. Stay safe, wear your mask if you're in rooms more than 25 or more people. I don't know. But Bengals versus the goddamn Rams. Joe Burr versus Matthew Stafford over there in LA. Second time a team has played the Super Bowl in their home stadium, and hopefully they win and can make history just like the Bucs did last year. They're the first team in NFL history to play the Super Bowl at their home stadium and win it. So let's see if the Rams can do that in LA. Talk probably more about that after the Super Bowl. But you got anybody you think is gonna win, Bengals or Rams?
Not even interested right now.
I mean, you're in SoCal, so I feel like there's probably a bunch of Rams fans out there.
Yeah, I know nothing about the Bengals in Cincinnati, so obviously LA. So.
Oh yeah, I just don't want LA to win because they beat us. They claiming they retired Tom Brady, and I don't want them to win a Super Bowl before the Bucs win another one, even though they only won one Super Bowl. But Joe Burr and the Bengals, I hope they come through, win their first Super Bowl. They only made it to 2 other Super Bowls, and they were against the 49ers, and they lost both of those Super Bowls. So make this a redemptive story. Joe Burrow go out there and win the game. You know what I'm saying? And we'll talk about it more after. Best of Bias listeners that wanted to hear more about that. And we got some trade deadline talk to talk about too. So we'll get some friends on here for a sports episode sometime later and get some Shifters updates, because James Harden, Ben Simmons trade, damn, we'll talk about that. But Joe Rogan, let's get into this, man. Joe Rogan, he's in some drama. Basically, Joe Rogan's been really big right now in the media. He's like one of the biggest podcasters in the world, one of the biggest voices in the world. So pretty much whatever he says and whatever he does, I think either political pundits, media outlets are going to kind of zoom in on it and then just take it as, I don't know, some kind of political stance. So they're scared of him pretty much. He has a lot of influence. People listen to him a lot. So I think people feel like he can control what people think and what they say. So pretty much, I guess he had a guest on recently that was spreading misinformation about COVID and COVID, and COVID protections, masks, and shit like that, and what we should be worried about. And, the public didn't like that. Specifically Neil Young, I don't really know who Neil Young is. I think he's like an old school kind of rock star or some shit like that. I don't really know any of his music, but I guess he's kind of big on Spotify. Due to the misinformation that, I guess they're claiming that Joe Rogan was promoting, he wanted to take his music off of Spotify, his whole catalog. I mean, and they did let him take his catalog off of Spotify because Joe Rogan is making a lot of money over there. I think they're paying him $100 million for his podcast to be under the Spotify paywall only. So yeah, they're not going to do much. They're not going to really budge and push too much censorship, because a lot of the podcasts I heard or were listening to recently, like if they want to start moving towards censorship, they have to pull a lot of the music they have on their app, and they'll lose a lot of subscribers because there'll be no music really left on there. Half the podcast will get scrubbed. I just want to know what you think about this situation. Just about Joe Rogan in general, and of course we can bring in that collage or the video of him saying the N-word a bunch of times, and his videos about him claiming to be in Planet of the Apes and all that. Just get into all of it. What you thinking?
Man, claiming to be in the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yes. Oh, let me just tell you real quick. So there's a video, I guess it was from a while ago. He was telling like a story about how he was going to go try to see Planet of the Apes, the movie. But every movie theater he went to was like either too far or sold out. I don't remember the exact story. But he was saying that he went to a movie theater in Philadelphia, asked the driver to take him there. And then he asked him if it was like a safe neighborhood or whatever. And he said he got out of the car and was going to the movies. And he was like, I was going to see the Planet of the Apes, but I was in the Planet of the Apes. There was no white people. There was no white people anywhere. But that's the only part of the clip I heard, because they kind of cut it. But I guess it was 12 years ago. I guess that comedy wasn't too it wasn't too shunned upon back then. But he said that he ended up, I don't know, I'm not really trying to stick up for it or anything, but I heard that he did say that he ended up enjoying his time. He did like the community that he did watch the movie in, and he did have like the time of his life at the end of the story. But how the videos and stuff that people kind of try to hit him on after the mask situation, all the COVID-19 information, after people didn't really jump on him too hard and didn't really jump with that Neil Young stance, and then nothing moved off of that. They tried to move to racism, it seemed like. They put a collage of him saying the N-word a bunch of times. Go ahead.
That's what it feels like it is to me, though. Like what I've been seeing, it just looks like they're just trying to pick something that's gonna hit. They'll say this and somebody's like, nah, it's not enough, and then they'll put this out. So now they're putting this out, and people are coming to his defense. And I mean, I've been following Joe Rogan for a minute. Joe Rogan, I've heard him use the N-word on shows, and it makes you cringe a little bit, but like in the context he's using it in, I understand why he thinks he can use it, but he probably shouldn't use it. Like, especially because he's a comedian, and like comedians have that mind state of like, up until recently, because recently they've been censored a lot. They've always had the mind that if you can find a good context to use something in, you can use anything. So in any joke, you can use anything in that context as long as it's done like creatively,
right?
Or at least like cleverly, right? And like, I mean, that's how it used to be. Now when it comes up, you really can't do it. It's like people get criticized for everything they do, depending on who it offends,
Yep. And I don't know. I've seen a lot of reaction podcasts, a lot of guests that been on the podcast kind of talking about it too, saying that they don't think Joe Rogan is racist. They think that he kind of is misinformed, thinking he can use the word in those kind of situations. And if you do watch those clips, people have been listening to him for 10, 12 years. They know what he's about. I've heard those clips, seen those videos. And first of all, A clip from 12 years ago. He's been podcasting for 12 plus years. That is nutty to think about. But anyways, yeah, for people to go back and just put a collage of shit that he said from 12 years ago, from 2000, right now, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's just, it's kind of wild. Yeah, I think it is super political. It's super political. They're going for him because he is like the number one guy out there. Yeah, I think it comes for everybody at a certain point.
Yeah, they've been doing it. Remember they had that shit about him talking about taking some drug to
the horse,
or they claimed that it was
horse
a
dewormer.
Exactly, but like the doctor even claimed that, even stated that is one of the applications it's used for, but it's used for a lot of other applications in humans.
Right.
So it's like that it's equivalent. That's why he had that little meme where it was like a picture of him drinking water, and then them saying, Joe Rogan drinks liquid used to cool engines or something like that. It's like, all right.
It's wild, man. It's really wild. Yeah, they're gonna, because he is a big. That's the thing about it. It's just like the many people that listen to him, and if he takes a stance on something, they're scared that they'll follow what he says, no matter. Because especially if it's against what they say. If more people start taking horse dewormer and not getting the vaccine, they'll be mad because they listening to him and not listening to them. I get it. But it's not right. I feel like they should, be big boys and girls and try to find, better ways to try to take somebody down rather than using cheap tactics like that. Because once everybody unifies off these missed attempts that you're shooting at, it's going to look like, okay, here's another way of you trying to take him down. And the points that you are trying to make, people aren't going to really believe that much in them because it seems like you're just trying to make hit pieces all the time. And then
it seems like there's an agenda. Basically.
Right. And you're going to strengthen his following rather than, do what you're trying to do, which is that propaganda from back in the day where you thought you could just throw something up and everybody just fall off the wagon. Even India RE was talking about it. She was claiming that she wanted her stuff off of Spotify too. She said, one, because Spotify pays the artist pennies and pays podcasters $100 million. So it's like, okay, yeah, I don't want to be part of Spotify anyways, but if they are going to push messages that are inaccurate and do possibly get people killed, she doesn't want to be a part of it either. Not necessarily talking about Joe Rogan because she's not for cancel culture. She's not for anything like that because she's, all about artists expressing themselves and not about censorship or anything like that. But some companies will play ball, some won't. And Spotify, if they push too much, they'll have to take hella shit off their platform. And that, I don't know. I don't think that's what they're willing to do. But yeah, he's apologized. He did get like 70 episodes of his taken down from his podcast or in his YouTube for shit that they found, kind of racist or inappropriate. So I don't know. Hopefully Joe Rogan learned his lesson. I don't really think there's a lesson to learn. He says he doesn't use the word. It's, all these clips are probably from like 5-10 years ago. Shit has changed now. And I'm sure he's,
it's like some of them, like he would use them if he's like describing another person saying them. Like, I think one time he was describing Quentin Tarantino using the N-word, but he would just like repeat the N-word instead of just saying he said the N-word,
Yeah.
But that's what it would be, stuff like that. So it was kind of like one of those situations where he just took the opportunity to say it because he thought, I can say it because I'm explaining something about it instead of actually using it towards somebody.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Irregardless, I mean, yeah, he was wrong for it, but I don't think that's enough to. I'm not with cancel culture at all, but I don't think that's enough to get somebody for it because I mean, I got a little brother who's fully Caucasian who grew up with never Black people, and I know he says the N-word, so I try and get him to stop saying it, but I mean, he says it. I know he does. And, he grew up. All his family says it. All the boys he grew up with the same age as him. That's what they say.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it is kind of deep. And they dropped it on Black History Month. We know what they were trying to do. We know what they were trying to do.
I don't know. I don't even fuck with Black History Month like that. I don't. It's like why is it like, oh yeah, you guys have your own history, and then it's like Is that admitting that your history is lying or something like that? Because you're going
Right.
to exclude our history? It's like, no. It's like, why should it always be history?
Right. That's why Kanye said he wants Black Future Month instead of Black History Month. He said no more Black History, Black Future, because we're making future stuff. We're doing it big. And let's talk about what we're about to accomplish and less about how they took stuff from us, beat us up, this, and that. Let's talk about what we're about to do and how we're about to flourish. So I feel him kind of on that, but I don't think we should cancel Black History Month because I think people should still know about our accomplishments in the past and never forget where they came from in a sense. So I don't know about all that, but let's move on.
And our struggles that they did.
Yeah, for sure. Because
if
if they don't show you and tell you, they will lie to you about it and say it never happened and try to wash it away. So I think it does kind of have to sit there so it can resonate.
Look how old I am, and I just learned about was it the Red Summer, and like was it the Black Wall Street?
Mm-hmm.
I just learned that shit. I learned about that shit like what, like 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, like I really barely heard about it. Well, basically, I think I heard about it when after the game came out with his Black Wall Street label back in the day, and they were talking about where it came from. But yeah, it is. A lot of that stuff was hidden from us because they don't want us to know about Black success. They just want us to know about what we, us being held down and suppressed. We just show our strives too and our accomplishments and all that shit. That's why I kind of feel the Black Future Month too, because a lot of our future lawmakers, history makers are coming up right now, and it's a chance to show the world that we got a future and we're gonna flourish. But yeah, moving on a little bit, mask mandates in February 15th, right after Valentine's Day, right after everybody's done kissing, you take your mask off. Yeah, how do you feel about that? You ready to take your mask off?
I mean, yeah, I hate for the mask.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't be trusting people. I never like people anyways. I wish it was like a way for them to let me take my mask off and make everybody else keep theirs on. That'd be cool as fuck.
Feel that.
That'd be dope. I'm with that, but
I'm ready for it too, man, because my car, first of all, is littered with masks, and I'm tired of having to rush and try to find one before I get out of the car and go in someplace. And I'm tired of being hella surprised when I see people's faces that I've been around for a year. In my job, I work in an office, so when people take their mask off to drink water or eat something, I see their face. I'm like, oh shit, that's what you look like? It's crazy.
Same here.
Shit's nutty. And crime too. Take off them goddamn masks now. We want to see who these fucking people are. We want to be able to identify people. Shit. Anyways, moving on. Did you see the Isaiah Rashad video?
No, I did not.
Moving on.
What's that? What is it? What is it?
I don't know if we should talk about it. I didn't see it, luckily, but I think it was a sex tape video, but people are saying that he's gay because we'll leave it at that. I didn't see the video, but people are just kind of talking about how they're trying to discredit him as an artist just because he might be bisexual or gay, which I think is bullshit first and foremost. But yeah, Twitter is crazy. And I was going through my timeline hoping I didn't see nothing pop up like that because I don't know why Twitter is so raunchy in the first place. That shit's crazy. They allow anything on that bitch. Let's see. Spirit and Frontier combined to make a super flight. Spirit acquired Frontier. I don't know if you're familiar with Frontier because I don't really fly Frontier that often. I try not to fly Spirit as often unless I'm going to either like LA or just fucking Las Vegas or something like that. But they are combining to make a super cheap, affordable flight option out there. They did get surveyed as one of the worst in customer service. I think Spirit was last. I think Frontier was third to last. So they thought combining them will try to make their approval rate go up. But I don't know how that's going to really work. But I don't want to talk too much shit because I do got to fly Spirit pretty soon. And I don't want them to fuck me up for talking shit. So shout out to you, Spirit. But shout out on your acquisition. I think they acquired them for I don't really know the price, but I don't think it's really that important. Moving on next, you see the Golden Corral fight?
No, what's that?
I don't know, man. It's just some people going crazy. It looked like after church, some family of 40 went to Golden Corral, and the video I saw it was a brawl inside Golden Corral. the family was fighting the workers, and I guess it was over the steaks running out. But it was a super brawl. People was throwing chairs and people getting hit in the head with chairs, like wooden chairs from Golden Corral. I don't really understand. Them steaks must have been fire.
It must have been fire.
The Lord steaks.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
People from church. These are church people?
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy folk.
Oh, wow.
And they out there really fighting for steak. I've never been to a Golden Corral, but I bet them motherfucking steaks is fire if they fighting for them. Cause shit, I don't know. Go there. Golden Corral. Steaks, you know what I'm saying?
Make sure I put that in there. Little notes.
Michael K. Williams killer's caught. He died. He was, I guess it was off fentanyl. I did not know people were taking fentanyl like this. And golly.
I don't think they know it's fentanyl. People are looking for it. They're lacing the cocaine with fentanyl.
Man, I don't know if you watched Euphoria or not.
That shit's super potent, they said.
No, and people rap about fentanyl. I've seen fentanyl being sold in TV shows. They're talking about it. People are taking fentanyl. And I mean, some of it is laced. Some people it might have been accidental, but people are out there looking for fentanyl actually and taking it. And that shit's too strong for people. Shit's way too strong for people.
I seen a video where a cop passed out just by like accidentally smelling it because he didn't know what it was. They're taking somebody's car and he did like this and put it down. That's all he did. And then as you know, he just on the ground. The cop is on him trying to rub his chest, wake him up, and have to give him one of them little shots, I guess.
Damn.
Yeah. So he almost OD.
Overdose. Yeah. God damn.
He did OD.
Because you have to hit him with the EpiPen to bring him back. The adrenaline. That is crazy. Off of sniffing that shit. But yeah, they caught his killers. I guess they were super operating in broad day. Just like the cops caught him broad daylight. Just their shit was behind a tree, just loading up fentanyl, selling it to people. And they got caught. Hope they get what they deserve. Snoop Dogg acquires Death Row Records. And
before you move on to that though, I also want to say, did you read that they released the cause of death for Bob Saget?
Oh yeah. He head injury.
Yeah, bumped his head before he went to bed.
Just went to sleep.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
If you bump your head, don't take that shit lightly. Remember that.
Yeah, man. Whew.
That's crazy.
Head injury. That's how you know CTE and shit exists too, because
that's the same thing that happened to Liam Neeson's wife. Remember?
I did hear about his wife passing away. I don't remember that story.
She was on the kiddie slopes or whatever with her family and slipped, bumped her head. You know, sometimes that ice be like hard. Yeah, I don't know. I've fucking been in snow one time in my life, but I can imagine because snow does have to fucking freeze up when it melts again. So yeah, she hit her head on that and refused any medical attention apparently. And then she ended up passing out and had to take her in there. She never woke up because she had a hematoma in her brain or something like that.
Damn, shit. That is crazy. So R.I.P. her. Miss Neeson. Snoop Dogg acquires Death Row Records. The record label he was signed to, his first record label. Suge Knight is in jail now. So I guess he was able to buy the rights from, I forgot who he bought them exactly from. It's from another record company he bought the rights from. So now he is the owners of them and he can release music through the label. And I think his next album is going to come out through Death Row, which is pretty dope.
That's dope.
Yeah, shout out Snoop Dogg and all the shit that he's going to accomplish. And now he's on every show. He's performing at the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? He's probably going to smoke weed on the stage at the Super Bowl. So he is.
It's in LA, so why not?
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I don't think he. I don't know. Shout out Damo. He put a little bet in our group chat to see who would if Snoop Dogg would spark a blunt on stage. And supposedly 50 Cent's supposed to be out there. Probably Method Man. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't show up to perform with Mary. So it's probably gonna be a bunch of guests out there. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. What we got next? A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. Whew. Congratulations to them. A$AP Rocky and Rihanna are expecting their first child together. And man, oh man, there's a lot of funny memes out there with Drake being hella mad.
Have they announced it, or are they just like rumors?
Post announced these pictures came out on like magazines and stuff for Bump, and she's posted on Instagram and stuff. So yeah, pretty interesting. That baby's gonna be where's she from? Barbadian royalty over there, because she is like she's like an honorary something.
And New York royalty, I guess.
Shit, Rihanna is royalty everywhere.
Have you put an album out at all?
Not for a while. Either one of them. They have. I mean, Rihanna's a billionaire off of her makeup and all her shit, so she ain't got to put out music. And ASAP Rocky got her pregnant, so he ain't got to put out music either. And he's really into fashion too, so I'm sure he has his hands dabbling in some of that shit over there. And he has artists, I believe, so you can probably still make money off of that. Carry hella sleep over there. But yeah, shout out to them. I know there's a lot of angry males out there, but it's not like y'all can get her anyway, so.
I was say, what is the likelihood of that happening?
The baby fighting Danny Lay's boyfriend. Your brother. My bad. It was her brother. It is her brother. He walked up to the baby at a bowling alley in LA. I think it was at London on the Track's birthday party. I don't know how Danny Lay's brother got in there, but
it looked like the baby walked up to him, but I guess
no, he walked up to the baby. He said he walked up to the baby, and then the baby tried to punch him. He ends up punching his drink. It was kind of fucked up too, because once I don't know why they try to fight on the lanes. It looked like a Scooby Doo and shit. Out there slipping and sliding on the lanes, and the bodyguard was grabbing dude by his ponytails. That was fucked up, tossing him back and forth by his hair.
He was lucky he had that bodyguard, because usually he has that big ass light skinned dude. You see that dude? The one who played Uncle Phil in that one song he has with his homeboy. I forgot the fucking dude's name.
Yeah, his name is like Kong, something like Kang Kong or something like that.
No, yeah, that guy, yeah.
Yeah, but I think he got sued or something for beating somebody up with him already. So I don't think he's with him no more.
I mean, I've seen them together recently though.
Okay, I don't know. I could sworn he got sued. I think he might have hit a girl, not knowing it was a girl, or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. But basically, after the whole drama that we talked about with Danny Lay and them, their baby and that whole public spat on Instagram Live, her brother was claiming whenever she saw the baby, he was gonna confront him and try to, it was on site. So when he was at that bowling alley, for some reason, he decided to walk up to the baby and his entourage like he was going to do something. And he ended up getting jumped, which, arguably, could you blame him? Why are you walking up on him after talking that shit online by yourself? He said he don't know what he got on him. He might got a gun because he's by himself trying to walk up all brave. So that's what they claim could have happened. So he just beat him up for that. But yeah, it's an ugly situation.
Yeah, that changed my perspective. I thought that they walked up on him because the way the camera looked to me was just like baby and his boys are surrounding this dude, and he was like in the direction of the bowling alley. So I thought that he was bowling. They walked up on him and beat his ass. But
he even put out a video afterwards. He was like, "Yeah, I told you when it was just me there. I told you when I saw you, I want to talk to you like a man. I walked over there. You was with all your boys, and I tried to walk up to you like a man, and you swung on me." Well, that's gonna happen. You was talking big shit online, big shit online. So he's gonna come out there and do what he has to do to protect himself and his friends, and that's it. And that's gonna happen. But I don't wish violence on nobody.
Yeah, and you don't get your sister situations when they having like a toxic relationship. Because all that's gonna happen is you're gonna end up get into it with that nigga, and then her and him gonna get cool and we back together, and now you have to be around this nigga you done got into it with. It's like,
and now you got beat up and you look hella cloudy now because now you just looks like you're doing this for attention. You said what you said online, but you didn't have to start that at the party. It'd be tough, you know what I mean? And I just personally think, fuck the baby. Why you get yourself in all this shit? You're gonna lose your career over this because damn, you can't just be.
Technically, if the guy came to him, it's not his fault.
Right. Yeah, but still, like
the only thing he can fall for is his aggression. But really, I mean, he can do what he wants to. Like that.
Yeah,
you can say, "Hey, this dude pulled up." Because my theory is, if I'm a big motherfucker, right? If a little dude walk over to me and start talking shit to me, I'm assuming this motherfucker got something to know something. So yeah, I'm gonna act quick. So if you see one motherfucker walking up to a group of niggas, you gonna say he got something or he knows something, or so he better act quick. So
Yeah.
yeah, I give him the benefit of the doubt for that. Before I was like, yeah, they assaulted this dude, but I mean, in that case, yeah, you gotta think. I think they went a little overboard with it, definitely slamming his ass on the fucking on that hard ass slippery floor.
By his braids. And there's hella people like girls running out there. What for what? They had a cameraman with one of those big ass cameras that your whole body camera running out there on the lanes too, falling. Why are you running out there? Just trying to be in the video. Shit's wild, man. Shit is just fucking wild. But yeah, shouts out to them. Hope the baby can stay out of trouble. I mean, either way, it's probably good for his publicity. So this could be a good thing for him.
Another thing.
Yeah. Last thing on here before we get into Book of Fett. Speaking of not really good publicity, Kanye West is at it again. He is, publicly trying to get his fans to help get his daughter off of TikTok because he's mad that his daughter is on TikTok. And it's kind of, threatening Kim and stuff like that. I guess Kim said that he put a hit out on her and some shit like that. Yeah, shit is getting wild. And basically he's asking for all his fans to help him get his daughter off of TikTok. I think he's just kind of losing it now. At the beginning, it was kind of like I give him the benefit of the doubt, but at this point, I think he's just losing his rocker. He's not in control of the situation anymore, and he's just losing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and me personally, I think it's publicity for his album because he is dropping an album on Donda 2 on February 22nd. So this could be his manipulative way trying to get people to get attention towards it. But Kim ain't having it. She put out a statement saying like, I've been publicly or trying to do this amicably, this split, and you're just kind of throwing our business out there to the streets and try to get people and fans to work with you to hurt me and my family. Quit doing that shit pretty much and sign them papers pretty much at the end. Yeah, it's getting wild, man. I just don't want him to get arrested or do nothing crazy. I think he's untouchable just because he got billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Just chill, bruh. Chill. If you want to be able to see your kids, you need to relax because she's gonna try to take them away from you, and that's the last thing you want. Yeah, and I think he was on Instagram with another girl naked and shit on the ground. So not even just dating that one white girl that he's dating, I forgot her name, something Fox. But now he's just parading other girls around him and trying to, get her mad even more. So I feel the tit for tat with the Pete Davidson thing, but now she's going a little too far. No, he's going a little too far. I mean, that's just But yeah, man.
He's doing a lot.
Yeah. Should we do a commercial before Boba Fett, or should we just get right into it?
I can get right into it.
Fuck it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about some Book of Boba Fett, man, because a lot of good shit happened in these last two episodes, episode 6 and 7. When we reviewed episode 5, I was so excited to talk about the next week's episode. We saw that shit. And you know what? We saw episode 7 too. Talk about the finale. So let's just talk about these episodes. You want to just start with episode 6?
Yeah, definitely.
Man,
so
what stood out in that shit with you?
Me, I mean, obviously the main thing was they focused on, Luke a lot, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Luke in there.
Mm-hmm.
This was another Mando episode. And it was
definitely another Mando episode.
Yeah, it was a fan service episode to the fullest. So I mean, you get everything. You get, him flying around in his car, him get his new jet. I don't know what that thing is.
The Corvette jet.
Yeah, seeing Ahsoka, but the dope thing was the fucking robots. I don't know what planet they said what planet that was, but the robots that are fucking building that temple.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that's gonna eventually be the the next Jedi temple that's gonna be destroyed by fucking Han Solo and Leia's son. So yeah, but overall it's a dope ass episode.
Man, I love the episode.
Yeah, and they did a real good job on Luke's face. They did a good job because the first one wasn't that good. This one, yeah.
The mouth was moving a little slow for me, but it did its job.
And it was a turn they had that looked kind of weird where he turned and his face like transformed.
Right, yeah, like in the corners of the mouth, it was a little weird. But yes, I really like the Ahsoka cameo. I thought she was actually gonna join the team and go to the battle and shit with them, but I guess it was just
cameo.
A little cameo.
It's a nice little little like cameo like leading to because they're gonna have the Ahsoka show. You know that, right?
Yeah.
The Boba Fett and Ahsoka show. That's why I keep telling you to watch Rebels because Rebels is Ahsoka's gonna be the continuation of Rebels.
I'm pretty sure that I've either heard podcasts with people reviewing and talking about Rebels and everything enough to where a lot of the key points I'm kind of aware of now. But I'm still going to watch review episodes probably. I've heard that if you watch like on YouTube, if you check out a couple of the bigger scenes and the bigger plot points, they'll show you everything you need to know to catch up. So I plan on doing that as well.
I can just tell you.
Well, yeah, you've been telling me as well.
Yeah, but it's pretty much gonna be that. So you're gonna get some characters from Rebels that are gonna come in, like Sabine Wren. And I don't know if you watched did you watch the Bad Batch at all?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you remember the first episode with the little with the kid, the young Jedi, the Padawan that escaped?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's basically he grows up and trains another Jedi, a little kid. And that kid is who they're gonna be looking for in Ahsoka.
Okay.
Yeah, because they got this one guy that I know in the cast that but they didn't give a name of who he's gonna be, but he looks like he could be a grown-up version of that character. He's the guy who played Aladdin in the in the
live action version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I liked how we got to see R2D2 again.
Oh
a little cameo there. We got to see Grogu again, of course. We saw a lot of his training when he was out there training to be a. I didn't really like the ultimatum. I'm gonna bring that up right now. The Luke ultimatum. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring that up now. Choose the lightsaber or the Valerian steel. I don't
know. But see, I knew it was coming. It had to be something because there was two things that I noticed about this. When he was training him and he was talking to Ahsoka, she was like, he looks like you're doing a good job. He's learning fast. And he's like, not learning. I'm just helping him remember stuff that he's already been trained. You gotta remember, he's 50 years old and he's been trained. He's been trained that whole time, pretty much. As a Jedi. So he's just, and also he suppressed a lot of his memory, so the Empire wouldn't get it from him. So he's just relearning shit now. So that makes you think, okay, so since he's already been trained so much as a Jedi, he's already skilled enough to be considered a Jedi, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't really need to train more with Luke, really, if you think about it. So if he was to choose the Mandalorian, he would then be a new fucking Jedi / Mandalorian, and it hasn't been one for 1,000 years. Right. So if you think, so what I think what's going to end up happening would be good. I think it's too big for him.
Darksaber.
Yeah, when he gets older, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think what's going to happen is he's going to start grow. His power's going to grow the more he starts to remember, and he's also going to be going with the Mandalorian and learning how to be a Mandalorian. So he's going to
get his own armor.
Fuck yeah, he already got his what you call it?
What do you mean? I'm talking about over helmet, all that shit. You think you get all that?
Fuck yeah, why not?
That'd be sick.
He's a foundling. Why the fuck not? He's a
foundling. That'd be sick. And he has the force to be able to jump and fly. Woo.
Oh, he'd be dope as fuck.
Right, and actually talk.
That'd be clean. That'd be clean as fuck.
Yeah.
But also, he couldn't stay there anyways because Kylo Ren destroys the fucking temple and kills everybody.
Yeah.
So he's not one of who would die. So
yeah.
I mean, I knew it was gonna happen. It was one of the things where I was like, oh fuck, I was happy. I was happy with him training with Luke, but it is what it is. And I don't know. I mean, one thing I was kind of mad was that that means he doesn't get Yoda's lightsaber.
Yeah.
I want him to have Yoda. I mean, maybe he'll get it down the line. Who knows? But
maybe Ahsoka will bring it to him or something.
Or maybe maybe he'll get shown how to make it or something like that.
Right. They didn't really touch too much. I feel like I heard this on another podcast too. How they didn't really pay much attention or draw much attention to the relationship between Anakin and fucking Ahsoka. They only had like one line of interaction towards each other. And pretty much Luke Skywalker, I mean, Anakin was his, she was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. And all she said was like, you're just like your father. You could have used that to go a little more in depth and kind of like talked about that relationship a little bit more. I don't know how long Luke Skywalker is actually going to be around, so I guess it wouldn't really matter.
I think they want to just keep it all. That I'm assuming that from what they've already had it off screen. They already had the conversation, so they were kind of just giving you that
nod to it.
So if you notice the way they did this story, they went back and did like the other shit for when Boba Fett found his friend, what's her name, Fennec,
mm-hmm.
and it was like a parallel to season, or was it season 2? I think it was, or season 1 of Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, season 1. They might do the same thing when they make the Ahsoka show. You know, they might go back and show her like actually meeting Luke and everything.
Oh,
So
back in we'll save it for that.
Exactly.
And they can use that D8 and shit again, and it won't have to be like a whole show to do it. That makes sense.
They need to just bring fucking Sebastian Stan, whatever his name is, the dude from.
You think they can do that now after doing the deep fake so much?
Yeah, because he looks so much like him. They can just do it and like
have him be young.
He's already young. Like, I mean, come on, look at like, have you seen like this? They have this Tommy Lee and Pam Anderson shows coming out, and the girl who's playing Pamela Anderson looks nothing like her at all, but in the show she looks just like her. Wow. They can do stuff to make you look just like a person. They can put the little fake moles on his face. He already looks so much like him. That's all they got to do is just like a little makeup, but
make him a little older, has a little more aged Luke Skywalker when he's in his prime, or a little bit older. Yeah. Well, shit, they have a super. They made Luke look hella young now.
Yeah, they do. That's because this is right after they defeat the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So Luke would be young.
What about, we got a cameo from Cobb Vanth, where they got the Mandalorian armor from, or not the Mandalorian armor, Boba Fett's armor from. I think they got it off him. He had found it out of the Sarlacc pit, right? Off the guys that got it from the Sarlacc pit, those little scavengers.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. We got fucking, what's his name?
Well, speaking of the what you call, we can't just pass over him. Cobb Bane. You talking about Cobb Bane, right?
Yeah, I was about to go there. I was looking for his name.
Oh, my bad. I get him and Cad Bane.
Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth. Vanth is like,
yeah. I get them confused.
Yeah,
but
we saw that interaction.
And that was I like that. I like the way like they played it out, how they had the Mandalorian there, he left, and then they agreed to the whole agreement, and in the background as he's talking, you just see the guy walking slowly.
Hella slow.
That was a pretty dope little thing they did. He told the guy to go in, and they had the same voice actor, but they made his voice sound a little deeper though than normal, but it's still the same voice actor. And his face looked a little bit more round than in the anime or the animation, but it's dope to have him in there. And even though people don't really know the history behind with him and Boba Fett, and they never really they have like these episodes that they have for Clone Wars that they don't have actually. The lost episodes, you heard about that?
Mm-hmm.
You heard about it?
Mm-hmm. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen nothing like that.
Well, I don't think you can see it because they lost them, but it was supposed to like go over like the relationship with Cobb Vanth and Boba Fett, because Cobb Vanth was pretty much trained by Jango Fett.
Mm-hmm.
He was like Jango Fett's apprentice, kind of, and then Boba Fett became his apprentice, and then Boba Fett turned on him, and that's how he got that little shit in his head, like you said last time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had like a whole background. And they kind of put parallels to that, because if you notice, at one point there's some like comment that Boba Fett makes, and when Cobb Bane came, he makes the same exact statement. I don't know. It's like a little I don't know. They call him a quip or a cue, or like a little. I forgot the fuck he said exactly. Something like that's calling the kettle black or some shit. But he said something else.
Well, it was like a super alien type
reference.
It's like there's something called something slimy. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
The hell that is.
It's like the quasar calling the pelican or some stupid shit.
Yeah.
But they both use the same one, so it's kind of like insinuating that Boba Fett got it from him. So
I just want to know where the fuck was his knee gun and that rocket shit when he was fighting that guy getting ready to shoot.
What's funny is if you notice that both him and the Mandalorian both have the knee gun, but Mandalorian just barely ever uses it.
Yeah.
Like they had, and it's dope how they show like the different weapons they have. Like they have like some similar weapons, like the fire, all of them. That's like a common one they have. The little grappling hook is something they all have. But then the only one who has that rocket on his back is Boba Fett. That fucking rocket, yes.
Yeah, big ass rocket.
And Mando's the only one that has those little fucking little
those Tony Stark things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like they all have different unique abilities and shit, but
we got to see that in the finale.
Yeah, but now this episode was dope. It was just the way it went back and showed so much of the stuff that you wanted to see.
A lot of fan service.
Yeah, exactly. And also it kind of showed the way that Luke was still following the same
Jedi way.
Yeah, and it's already shown that it fails. So he should Yoda's already said that it doesn't work. I don't know why he doesn't stray from it,
And it's kind of messed up though, because people are saying that you're saying the Jedi way is to cut yourself off from all other attachments, but they said Luke never did that. And then he was like, you're saying cut yourself off from all these attachments, yet you're holding on to Yoda's old lightsaber. You're trying to give it away to him. Yeah, so it's like he kind of was going against all, it was kind of contradicting itself. So I'm kind of glad he did take the armor and went with Mando, because I mean, who knows?
Not to mention, I think Yoda's species. Yoda said there was like a thing where I don't know if it's canon anymore, but I know it was Legends. I know it was a book where because Count Dooku was his apprentice, and at one point where Count Dooku sat down next to him and explained to Yoda that if you came to the dark side, you'd be the strongest person in the world, or the strongest thing in the universe.
Yeah.
And they say Yoda sat there for a second and just like his face turned super twisted and like evil. And like they said, Dooku just got terrified, like he thought he was gonna get like he was about to die. And then all of a sudden Yoda went back to normal and was like, yeah, it's not for me.
I don't like that.
He was able to literally go into the dark side and be like, nah, I can't. Like he had control over it like that.
And that's crazy.
And there's also one other character that I'm pretty sure they're gonna make. They know he's canon, but I don't know if they're gonna make his actual story canon. But you probably seen him before if you watched it. He's the guy. He looks like a Native American. He has like a yellow stripe across his eyes and has long hair. I don't know if you've seen him. He's in Clone Wars. What else? And he was also. It's funny because they made his character because in episode 1. When they're going to get going to get Anakin, there's a guy sitting there who looks like a Native American with a little like yellow stripe across his eyes like that, sitting there. So they just basically made that character based on him. But he ends up falling in love with another one of Dooku's apprentices. I don't know if you remember that bald head girl. She's a bald head chick that had like 2 lightsabers. Yeah. So she ends up becoming good, but he and her fall in love with each other, and he ends up going to the dark side. But the whole time he's at the dark side, finding out that he reveals that he never fully went to the dark side. He was kind of like a double agent.
Okay.
So he was able to control it too. So it's kind of I'm surprised they don't ever delve into that. They actually like a way for people to take the power of the dark side, but not be overwhelmed by it. So.
Yeah, I guess there's always have to be dark and light, and I don't know. That antagonist does exist though. Look at the one that has a little bit of light, a little bit of dark, and can manipulate the dark to still be light.
There's a lot of them. Yeah, that's what Revan was like that. Revan, they talked about Revan actually, which is funny because he comes from a video game, but they've actually brought him into canon because in episode 9, I think it was, Sidious talks about him. He talks about the great Sith Lord Revan, but Revan was a Sith Lord, but he ended up getting like knocked out and lost his memory, and that's where you play as him in the video game, and he doesn't know who he is, and because he originally was a Jedi, and then he turned bad.
Oh, you're talking about the Force Awakens?
No, it's an old video game called Knights of the Old Republic or something like that. Yeah, so it was basically the story with him was him and his friend were Jedis, and back in the Mandalorian. This is thousands and thousands of years before this all this shit happened. Thousands of years before.
I think I played this game, and like you're running through a train at one point.
I don't remember.
I played this game hella recently because it was on Xbox Game Pass, where you can.
This is an old fucking game.
Oh, I thought it was recent.
Okay. Oh no, it's not. This is like from 2000 and probably 2000 probably.
No,
or a
I
little
mean,
bit.
it's old.
Something.
I don't know. I don't really know exactly. It's not nowhere near the new game. No, not Force Awakens or nothing like that. It's kind of old. It's kind of older,
but he might have played it, but it's called Knights of the Old Republic. But the story is basically him and his friends they disobey the Jedi, go and like fight the Mandalorians because they're over here fucking up some other planet, and then somehow they end up going and finding a Dark Lord to go attack and kill, who was like a Sith Lord, but that guy ended up turning them both to the dark side, and and then eventually one of them turns against Revan, and Revan, who looks just like Keanu Reeves, which is crazy, ends up getting knocked out or dies, or almost dies. When he wakes up, the Jedi's get him, and he can't remember who he is, so they just basically bring him back to being a Jedi because he's hella powerful. Yeah. And then as the game goes on, he pretty much learns how to wield both the dark. He's actually the original person to wield a purple lightsaber.
Purple lightsaber. Oh, young Mace. I feel that.
Mace Windu also knew how to control the dark side, but he didn't do it the same way as them. He didn't let it come into, and he was able to misdirect it. You know.
I feel that. Yeah. Do you think he's still alive?
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be dope. I hope so.
Yeah, I guess we can move on to episode 6. Basically, at the end of that episode, it kind of just showed us that it's time for war. The Pikes have invaded, and they plan to go to war. Did we find out in this episode that the Pikes really didn't kill the Tusken Raiders? It was, I mean, the bikers weren't.
The bikers weren't one of the last episode. The final episode.
Oh, that's when he told him.
Yeah,
okay. I thought he told him at the very end of episode 6 when they shot him.
The very end of episode 6 was with Cobb Bane, or whatever his name is, Cad Bane, or his name is, getting not Bane, but Vane, the other one getting shot by Cat. I forget their fucking names.
Cobb Vanth.
Cobb Vanth getting shot.
Yeah, and then after that,
his deputy got smoked. So
yeah, he shouldn't have flinched, man. I don't think he's dead though. I don't think he's dead.
He got shot in the shoulder. You see where it hit him at.
Yeah, and they were healing him too. So I think he might come through in the next season, or probably the next season.
And Battle Cat was messing with him, but the next season, the next episode,
episode 7.
Yeah, that's the one where
might as well get into it now. Finale.
Yeah, might as well. She is the fan pretty much. One. And I thought it was kind of dumb the way they went about setting everything up. Because, it starts off pretty much after the explosion, which we didn't talk about. I forgot about that explosion. Where
in the club.
The club and the club owner, that the tall, whatever that species name is, Twilight or something like that.
With the ponytails?
Yeah. And I realized who she was. That's I think I told you. You ever seen Flashdance?
No.
Remember like the iconic scene where the girl lays back and pulls the water and the water splashes on her? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an old movie back from, I want to say, the 80s or 70s or 80s. But that was her. She was the actress. Okay. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I think she's like half black.
Really?
Yeah, but you never know.
Yeah, she's alien. And she dead.
Yeah.
Well, not in real life.
Everybody in that damn club was dead.
Yeah, that was a big ass explosion.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Goddamn Pikes. So then we go to episode 7, the finale, and the Pikes is really about that shit. So we're making the plan. Well, we're not gonna really go over the storyline. We're just gonna kind of talk about it. So I kind of feel like the plan was half-assed in the first place.
It was
how the hell did they assume they had numbers? Like I don't. Even the people that came from the town.
They just thought that nobody else was going. Like the people at that meeting was gonna stick to the treaty.
Oh yeah,
then they only had the Pikes to worry about, which was fine. Yeah. And they also thought they had coming. They didn't know he'd been shot.
Right. Yeah, they thought also that they couldn't sneak in until they'll be able to see him coming and prepare themselves for when they did come in. But yeah, he found out late that Cobb Vanth got smoked, and his people weren't gonna come because he died. They thought it was bad, but everybody else was on the team that was ready to fight. Black Chrysanthemum, the Mod Gang, they had Mandalorian pop through. So they had a little squad. And of course they had Fennec there, the sharpshooter. So they thought they'd be ready for anything that came to them. They had their orcs, the little orc guys, watching the ports, making sure nobody landed and couldn't invade. So they thought they had a cool little plan. But like you said, them motherfuckers turned on them. All the people that said they would stay neutral, they kind of just waited for them all to get in their posts, and they kind of tried to ambush them all.
Did some red wedding shit to them.
Yeah, that was I don't like their guns. They blasters need to be cooler.
Yeah, but they're trying to stick to the what they were, what they looked like when they first came out. They got to stick to that stuff.
That shit's so. I'm like, fuck.
And the fucked thing is because all the games that go back like thousands of years, they all like have the same technology. So it's like 1,000 years they haven't really changed technology at all.
Yeah, it's like big ass rifles that shoot little slow ass beams. It looks so corny. It's like the people they had, the extras they had, they even look like realistic holding the guns. Like, but anyways, after they got ambushed, how'd you feel about that? You think everybody was going? First of all, Black Chrysanthemum can take shots, can he?
Yeah, he is made out of fucking that armor, that Basgard, that armor, because he was taking multiple fucking shots and was just running through them. Like,
yeah.
He had some dope ass kills, like where he tossed that motherfucker and shot him.
Yeah, that was tight. That was hella tight. But I hated that move where he was carrying him after he shot, and Black dude did a little dramatic spin shoot. I was like, bro, that was not necessary. Because they were like they're walking Black Chrysanthemum, and they popped up on him. He did a little corny ass spin, and they shot him all. Got him, I got you, man. That was hella corny. But
teamwork and the camaraderie and family.
yeah, and they got up out of there. But yeah, they got up, except for the orcs, they died for sure.
Yeah, and they didn't even give a fuck about them dying. Nobody even spoke about the fact that these niggas ain't come back. They ain't came back. Yeah, that's fucked up. They had no love.
And they died way before everybody got ambushed. They fell down hella far off the sky.
But I've always said they fucking those things are weak as fuck always anyways.
Yeah, they can't do shit.
I don't know. They were okay against no, they weren't. He beat their ass. Like Black Chrysanthemum, what his name was, he beat their ass too.
Oh yeah. And man, it's just crazy how they take the pikes are hella tough, but it seems like they didn't have no kind of hand-to-hand combat skills. So unless they were shooting at you, I think you'd be good. Because
I think it's because of their numbers.
Yeah, they're like fish people. They probably can reproduce crazy.
Well, no, it's also because the whole planet is like this big ass syndicate of fucking like drug runners and shit. And they like drugs, spice across the galaxy. So they just got a whole planet of fucking people to come out there and risk their lives and shoot in war so they can go wherever
and get one-shotted by the Mandalorians. Because they was out there doing work, the little tag team when they was back-to-back fighting out there. It was sick. Using all the weapons.
Fight.
Yeah.
I think that weasel sounding guy who works the mayor, I think he's gonna end up working for Boba Fett.
The weasel. Oh yeah.
The one who was trying to like negotiate and shit.
Yeah, it's hella funny because he's in year one. Remember that movie with Jack Black? Well, he played a gesture, and he played the same kind of character. He was doing like hello stuff with his hands. Yeah. And he played that same kind of character in this, but it's interesting. He was like, "I'll give you nothing." The negotiation. That's what kind of started it off. Yeah, that shit was wild. But yeah, again, Mandalorian, he be taking shots, boy. I tell you, taking big shots.
It's nuts. We also gotta talk about fucking the what's it called shit again?
Rancor?
Nah, the fucking I can't remember the name of the fucking jet. Luke's jet arriving, remember?
Oh,
Luke's
the
jet.
X-Fighter, was it? Is he X-Fighter? X-Wing? Yeah. And pulling up with Grogu in it. Yeah, that was a good reveal there. Really good reveal.
With Grogu flying it? I'm playing.
I know, right? That'd be sick. Flying it with the Force.
Nah, he was. They were saying that it was. What's his name?
Autopilot.
R2D2. Yeah. But I mean, technically, that would be autopilot, I guess. But
yeah,
but
it was cool to see that. Go ahead.
It would be doper if they said that Luke was so strong that he can like
Force pushed it.
Yeah, Force push that motherfucker over there. That'd be crazy as shit.
That'd be dope. But he did fucking last time. What did he do? Like in the movie, he fucking transmuted himself. Yeah, Force projected himself. That shit's nuts. But yeah, during the big battle, we saw them, almost, get to the end, pushed them to the end, was shooting at them, clapping them. I think they should come up with like a shield, a Mandalorian shield, instead of using their bodies as shields. Because they be getting smoked, and I feel like it's like concussive blasts. It doesn't go through the armor, but they get like, they can feel it, like somebody's like punching at them or something like that. Like
some of them got shields. That what you call it got shield. That one dude, the big one that he fought against, Bias Lydell, he had a shield. Remember?
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, then Mandalorian cut it off. He cut it this way and cut it off.
That man tell a Boki though. He need to get like an Iron Man Mandalorian suit. Somebody that is out there that can be whooping people's ass martial arts hella, but it's hella like a slick nanite suit. That'd be tight.
They do. They need to get somebody. I mean, that chainmail idea is dope too, though. Like, they should have it because you know how they don't have like I don't understand. Maybe they have chainmail under the clothes and they don't tell us. That's why. Because it sounds stupid that they only have the metal here, the shoulders, and the wrists. So all the other parts of their body is like exposed if somebody shoots them there. But maybe they can say underneath that cloth, all of them have chainmail. Then it's like, okay, it makes sense. So
they be getting hit.
It hurts a little more because it burns through it, but it won't kill them.
Yeah, I feel it. And they did mention the back.
If that's the case, imagine how heavy that fucking suit would be then.
Exactly. I was thinking how they move around so fast and shit like that. But we did get mention of the back of the tank again. After Black Chrysanthemum got shot up, he was like, "Man, I owe you a dip in the back of the tank." So I guess the tank heals you. It heals all your bodily injuries.
And it's funny how that right before that happened, that's when the people from that town, from Freetown, whatever it's called, they pulled up to help out.
Yeah.
And then when the Mandalorian apologized about the marshal, he was like, "Yeah, it shot him down in cold blood." And in my head, I'm sitting there, I'm like, "You only shot him in the shoulder." Like,
yeah. I think he was lying. They want to. I don't know.
Well, they were putting a play on it because you know what happened at the end of the episode, But you seen the end, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, is it in the credit scenes or something?
Yeah. So
no, I didn't.
It was just funny, like why he would say it like that because he was gonna end up having to tell him anyways that he's getting he's in the bantha tank, whatever that shit is called, the bantha tank. It was just like a little thing to try and mislead you, but it was dumb. It was like done. It was done poorly to me, I thought.
I feel it.
Nonetheless, I still like the episode. I like the fact they brought those big ass fucking spider things with the guns on them out.
Yeah, those droids have always been OP to me with the force fields.
That force field is some bullshit. But, I mean, the thing about it is like if you watch Clone Wars, which apparently they don't watch Clone Wars. People like you can roll grenades underneath them real slow and it'll blow them up. Nobody had grenades though, because as long as it's they're saying something moves slow enough, it can go through it.
But yeah, they had a hard time in this shit.
Well, yeah, I take that back. Yeah, that won't work because on these ones be different because when Black Chrysanthemum tried to push through it, he could almost get through them, but he couldn't.
Yeah, so, and that was after they shot it hella times and he was able to get through because he had those electric brass knuckles, so he was able to press through that shit. But yeah, very, very interesting there, man. I really liked how they were trying to shit, man. I thought Mando was done for. He was getting fucked up by those droids. I knew he wasn't gonna die, but I didn't really think the solution was gonna be what it was. Boba Fett coming out with the Rancor, riding it.
Yeah, Boba Fett just jetted on him. He was like, "We need backup." And he was like, we don't have any. He was like, "Protect him." He just flies away. I was like, "Nigga, that's shady as fuck. Give me a heads up."
And he didn't really do a good job either because he was only fucking with one at a time, and they both went separate ways. They could have killed everybody with the other one while he was taking out one of them because he was having a hard time taking out just one. It took a lot of maneuvering to take out one. But
it was showing that he's still a baby. The thing is still a baby. So there's that. It's not like what it would be as a full adult.
It's still about the Rancor?
Yeah, it's still being trained. So it's not fully trained. He hasn't had it for hell long.
Right.
So it's kind of they're trying to show that okay, this is how good it is at this level, but it's still strong as fuck because it's able to rip shit apart because they did that fatality and she was like, it's like okay.
For sure. I thought it was gonna die. I was just, man, they're gonna kill the Rancor because they chopped the armor off and they started, shooting them hella. But then I guess those shots don't hurt the Rancor either because he just went and just pulled arms off one by one. I thought he was gonna get stabbed. He catches the thing, rips it off. So I guess, but then once he started like attacking Mando and shit, I was like, oh god damn, chill out, brother.
Well, he was attacking everybody because they were shooting at him. That's why.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he didn't really know. And then freaking he was whooping Mando's ass until Grogu came, put his ass to sleep.
The size don't matter thing.
Yeah, put his ass to sleep and slept right next to him because he was sleepy. But yeah, all in all, and then Finnick was doing her thing.
She went and got everybody. She
right,
took all the motherfuckers out
because she was like, "Where are they at? Where they having this secret meeting? They try to infiltrate us and shit like that." So she went up there and smokes all the people, all the leaders of the Pikes and shit like that. They actually hung somebody. They hung the mayor, which was epic to see on Star Wars. They lifted his ass, his feet were dangling and shit up there. That was kind of nuts. And then the whole Cad Bane and Boba Fett fight. That was interesting as hell too. I
like the fact that they're doing it. They're like bringing up stuff to show old characters that have been around for a little bit throughout like the Clone Wars series and like showing them dying. Like definitely, like, unlike with like Darth Maul where he gets cut in half and you think he's dead, but then later on his ass comes back. But now they're actually like showing the character die in front of you because they did the same thing with Darth Maul this last time when on Rebels when they had him fight against Obi-Wan. Yeah, Obi kills him and then he actually dies.
Do you think Cad Bane is dead?
Yeah, you see what he did to him, didn't you?
Yeah, but I thought they did a little extra like long view of him because he was probably still alive.
No, that was to show that he was dead.
So I thought the machine on this thing was like still running. I thought it was keeping him alive. I don't know. But I think it's a little soon to kill him off though, right? He's a cool character.
He's a cool character, but he's been around for hella long. He's old. It's like they call him an old man.
I feel it, but he's an alien. He could live forever.
Not all of them. Some of them, they have different lifespans. Yoda's character lives hella long, but we don't know
that. We still, like, I don't know. That's like, I don't even know Star Wars that well. I knew that character was fucking epic. Just from the lore of him walking up and just how similar he was to the Clone Wars. It was just dope. I thought it was cool. Yeah. But if he's dead, he's dead. It's whatever. But ultimately, Boba Fett and them were able to defend Mo Espa. And he is daimyo over the families, even though I don't know if anybody's left alive from them other species. Fuck. They done
they killed a lot of
them all. Yeah. So whatever he's daimyo of now, I guess he for now can be what it be. We saw that Mando and Grogu were just traveling space. That hollowed out droid little area is for Grogu. Posted up in there, flying hyperspace through space, you know what I'm saying? Boba Fett and Finnick are probably in. Everybody else, I don't know what Black Chrysanthemum's got to do, but everybody else is in Mo Espa.
I think Black Chrysanthemum's staying with them too. I think they're all there. Remember, it showed them all like they gave him the fucking juice, the fruit. He's walking. Actually, they had that whole fucking parallel to Godfather scene where he's walking, and they come up and give him like a basket full of fruit, like the basket of oranges in Godfather, and showing that he's like the shit now. Then he gives the Black Chrysanthemum, and Chrysanthemum bites it, and they're all chilling it together with the robot.
Yeah,
Android people and shit. So and then, even the little fucking mouse rat catcher thing is there.
The mouse rat catcher.
The little remember like when that one scene where like those things are cooking in the kitchen and they break in and get his ship.
Oh yeah, the little robot.
It's there too. So
so I guess the whole family's like setting up the next season. But yeah, ultimately it was good. Also setting up season 3 of Mandalorian. I'm pretty sure. I don't know when the hell that's coming out, but I hope it's soon because you guys are teasing us with these 2 little episodes that look like the Mandalorian. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I guess that wraps up this episode. Episode 7 was a breeze. Episode 6 was fantastic as well. I think episode 6 was my favorite just from the lore and stuff and the shit that I got to see. And I saw it was rated 9.7 out of 10 on IMDb. So I guess everybody else liked that episode too. That was the penultimate one. But yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah. Definitely.
Anything you want to add before we get up out of here?
Nah, nothing.
All right.
Good show. I liked it. Yeah.
For sure. Let's see. You know where to find your boy at, but actually I'll get to that. Let them know. This is part of that podcast where I like to let them know where they can find you at. So AK, let them know where they can find you at and what you got going. You feel me?
Kill Young on Instagram.
You got that right this time. Proud of you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought about it. And I looked up Pretty Ugly on all platforms. That's not me. That's my brother. But my shit's on there. The Said and Done album. And Pretty Ugly is just PrettyUgli, all one word.
That's messed up. You calling your brother pretty ugly?
Nah, that's shady. He called himself that.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, he goes by Pretty Ugly. Check him out on Instagram. Check him out on SoundCloud. Check him out on YouTube and AK as well. They do that little rap thing. It ain't little. It's fantastic. Check it out. It's that real lyrical, bringing that lyrical shit back.
Yeah. Lydell on there too.
Oh yeah, I'm on there. I'm on that thing too. But yeah, you know where to find your boy at SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, SAC_Lydell on Instagram. I'll tell you that twice so you don't forget it. Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. You know where to find us at on the Instagram. For the podcast is Best of Bias. On the Instagram, on YouTube is the Best of Bias as well. The website, bestofbias.com. Still under maintenance. The actual old one's still there, but the episodes aren't really up there yet. More so for the episodes, check YouTube and check anywhere you find your favorite podcast, Spotify, Google Play, Anchor now, and Apple Podcasts. So check it all out. We got plenty of stuff. Patches coming in, new hats coming in soon. It's Chinese New Year, so there's a delay on my patches. So they will be here. I don't know if they'll make it by Valentine's Day. So maybe by the end of the month, I'll get those out to you guys and let you guys see what I got. I got a whole batch, like new hats, new everything right here. A little preview of the new camo, you feel me? Like I got to throw something on here for y'all, you know what I'm saying? So a lot more coming, a lot more products to give y'all, show y'all so y'all can support. But what else we got? Nothing much, man. Anime Kumite coming soon. I've been peeping a lot of Marvel characters. I don't know where to find the anime character wikis or nothing now, or I would be doing that online too. But the Marvel wikis be having the powers, the lore, everything they've done in the comics, and the power levels in their index. So it's kind of easier to do that. But whatever you guys want to do, I know you proposed a battle to Deshaun to see what we're going to do next, but we're getting lots of hits on those videos. So we need to get that next battle out there soon.
What do you think? Did Deshaun ever say anything about that one?
No, but he did respond to the text messages about the Super Bowl barbecue. So maybe we can kind of broach the situation again and see what he says.
Yeah. What do you think of that matchup, though?
I don't want to give it away on here, but I think it'll be good. I'll be down for it. Because I'm not going to be doing the research this time, but I'll do a research just so I can some back research as a judge, because I will be judging this time, you guys. I'll be, letting my record stay safe right now and just be a judge for a little bit and let them battle it out and let's see if AKA can get a win over Deshaun, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see a lot more of the anime kumites coming up, more pop culture, more sports coming. Of course, we got to talk about the Super Bowl and trade deadline for NBA. So a lot more coming, but for now, it's the Best of Bias podcast. Anything else, AKA? Hey, we out of here. It's been a good one. Where my theme song at? And it's right here. We out.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful. You should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. It's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast.